YouTube is a vast ocean of content. Every 60 seconds, YouTubers produce over 400 hours of videos. That's about 17 days of videos per minute. You could spend the rest of your life watching nothing but new YouTube videos, and you'll only watch 1/24,000th of all there is to see. Just imagine everything that you don't see. Imagine everything out there just waiting to be found. Behind every video is a person, a story, a legacy. So let's go out and explore it. Welcome everyone to YouTube Geographic. And since this is the beginning of a new series, we're going to start it off from the beginning of YouTube. That's right, today we're going to explore the first video uploaded to YouTube, me at the zoo.
Alright, so here we are in front of the elephants. Cool thing about these guys is that they have really long fronts, and that's cool. And that's pretty much all there is to say.
The first video on YouTube was not very impressive. It's a 240p, 18-second video of a guy talking about elephants. If this video existed in any other context, it would be completely forgettable. But it doesn't. And believe it or not, this is actually a very important video. Even more important than important videos. And in order to understand why it's so important, we must first understand its background. Let's start with the uploader, this guy. His name is Jawed Karim. He's one of the co-founders of YouTube.com. Karim has gone on the record and said that his original inspiration for creating YouTube was to find clips of Janet Jackson's Super Bowl wardrobe malfunction, which he couldn't find anywhere else on the web. 12 years later, and YouTube is still a great resource for people trying to find clips of boobies. But more importantly, it speaks to one of YouTube's greatest utilities. YouTube has truly become one of the biggest video archives on the internet. Before YouTube, the only way to find an obscure video clip was to scour the web or track down an elusive VHS tape. It's hard to even imagine something like that nowadays, where everyone has a smartphone and can document any event of interest and post it to social media in a matter of seconds. It's almost impossible for any important event today to go undocumented. But back in 2004, 90 million people saw Janet Jackson's exposed nipple live, and Jawed couldn't find any footage of it online. Now, thanks to YouTube, we can see it. Everyone can see it, along with a ton of other weird, obscure stuff that you never knew existed. And that's something I really like about YouTube, but it's not the reason why it's the most popular video streaming site in the world. Sure, the archive stuff is really nice for lurkers like me, but you don't get to 1 billion users by just being an archive. There's something about YouTube, an intrinsic quality about it that draws people in. Back in 2005, YouTube started off as just another Silicon Valley startup. It opened in a humble office above 2 restaurants in a California city. And just 18 months later, YouTube was the 5th most popular site on the internet, earning more than 100 million views per day. So what made YouTube so special? And what set it apart from all the other video streaming sites on the web? The answer, I believe, lies here in the very first video. Me at the Zoo may just be a video of an average guy doing an average thing, but that's exactly why it's so important. By uploading this as the first video on YouTube, Jawed set a precedent. He laid down the cornerstone that would define the spirit of YouTube for years to come. He established YouTube as a medium through which the common man could broadcast themselves to the entire world. YouTube was born as a site of the people. It completely reversed decades of steeped media tradition. Before YouTube, an ordinary person had no way of broadcasting their ideas, thoughts, and actions to more than a handful of people. YouTube granted the common man with great power, a power that had only previously been available to celebrities, movie stars, and rock stars. Now, thanks to YouTube, anyone can be like a rock star, and that's why people like YouTube so much. We enjoy seeing people like us succeed. We witness these average Joes get millions of hits, and it gives us hope. It gives us hope that if they can make it big, then maybe, just maybe, we can too one day. And that, I believe, is the true spirit of YouTube. It's what drives us to try. It's what drives us to improve. It's what drives us to persist through thick and thin and all the stupid obstacles that are in our way. It's what drives us to compete head-on with channels a million times our size. And even though at times it may feel like you have a better chance of getting rich off the lottery than having one of your videos go viral, you just keep trying because you're saying there's a chance. And all of that is communicated through this 18-second video of a guy at the zoo. Of course, this is all implied. The guy is really only talking about elephants here, but he does have a point. Elephants do have pretty long trunks. By the end of 2006, Google had purchased YouTube, and Jawed earned $64 million worth of Google shares. Under Google's ownership, YouTube has gone through 11 years of countless updates and changes. Yet, through all of that, this video and this channel have persisted, silently watching over the website that it kicked off all those years ago. YouTube has changed quite a bit since Google took over, and it hasn't exactly been the most compatible with Jawed's original vision. One of the most infamous changes that you may remember was the forced integration with Google+, a failed social network. At the time of its announcement, Jawed actually made a rare post on his YouTube channel to interject his displeasure for the change. There's no doubt that forcing Google+ on YouTubers was one of the most unpopular decisions in the history of the site. And for good reason. They threatened to take away people's ability to comment. Ah yes, YouTube comments. I think everyone just pretends to hate them, when secretly, we all kind of like them. They're such an essential part of the YouTube experience. Me at the Zoo has about 300,000 comments, and there's not really any other comment section like it on YouTube. There aren't any flame wars or arguments going on. There are just a few memes, and memes have even managed to infiltrate the video's description. But that aside, most of the people commenting are just in awe. They're paying their respects and leaving their mark on YouTube's oldest video. And what we have created over 12 years of comments is a complete slice of YouTube history. If you go back through all those 300,000 comments, it'll be like traveling back in time. You will see a complete chronology of ideas, trends, and creators dating all the way back to the beginning. And at the end of your journey, you would hope to find it, the original YouTube comment. Tragically, the original comment no longer exists. It was deleted due to repeated flaggings for spam as a result of the Google+ comment integration. Yet another needless casualty to the failure of Google+. However, Me at the Zoo's first comment still lives on in a few screen captures from years ago. Now I know what you're thinking. The first comment on the first YouTube video. People commenting first on YouTube videos has become so widespread that it's a flippin' meme. But what do you know? The first ever comment posted on the first YouTube video was interesting. And that's pretty interesting. YouTube Geographic is brought to you by Patreon and by viewers like you. But most importantly, viewers like LOLGamer606. Thank you.